Do not adjust your TV or computer screens, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am that good looking. I'm Nick Barbati, and this is, as always, Rider Real Time. Listen, we have a lot to talk about today. I went on a trip to Boston, and I have the fallout and all of the stories to explain to you. But first, you can see our new set. I finally got rid of the co-host thing that they kept shoving on me, and they replaced it with a potted plant, which I don't really like fake flowers, but we'll do with what we can. But you know the Altoid box that's always been on my desk? I'm using it to keep my notes now, and it's going to help chug us along. This week's show, we're going to be discussing how you can win your Oscar office pool, Heidi Montag's new face, which I kind of love. And as you can see on the screen, I'm a big fan of Madonna if you watch the show, and you know Hillary Rodham Clinton, she's pretty epic too. But listen, Heidi Montag's face, before we can go to any of these other things, I got to tell you, I'm a little annoyed that everyone has an opinion on this woman. I think she looks awesome. I don't necessarily think that everybody needs plastic surgery, but I think if it makes her happy, that's great. But I heard something that really bothered me this morning. I was reading Perez Hilton, and Spencer Pratt, if you can believe this, is now talking about getting chest implants. For what? I think he's a brain implant, that guy. But another big thing, Hillary Rodham Clinton was quoted yesterday, or a few days ago, I should say, saying that if Sarah Palin was elected president, that she actually wouldn't leave the country. Now, this is on the fallout of Alec Baldwin and a bunch of other celebrities saying if George W. Bush got elected, that they would leave and go to Canada. That she thinks that that's ridiculous and all, but that she would probably be a really good imitation of the Scream painting. That would be her reaction. I think Hillary needs to run again, personally. I would like to see her challenge Barack Obama, I think, for the Democratic ticket, just to give it a good conversation again. I thought there were some really good candidates. I think the Republicans have some good nominations possible for this upcoming year with Bobby Jindal and even Tim Pawlenty. So I think the politics, we're all kind of over it right now. We had a really intense year in 2008, but 2012 we could get really excited. But speaking of competition, let's talk about the Olympics for a little bit. Now, I know some people have real Olympic fever. Not me, really. Johnny Weir, who I think is the most flamboyant, fabulous, fantastic ice skater I've ever seen, got a 6th place finish. Now, today's Friday, so that happened on Wednesday. And I don't find myself rooting for any of these superstars for the Olympics. I feel like we don't have an Anton Apollo Ono. Is that his name? Or Michelle Kwan, who I loved, who never won the big one. I've never really been a big fan of some of the winners that come out of this thing, like Sarah Hughes. I thought she was heinous. Tara Lipinski, I think, deserved a good, I don't even know what kind of beatdown she needed, but just a beatdown on the ice. I don't mean a physical beatdown. But the Olympics this year, they don't do much for me. But then again, like I said, if Michelle Kwan had been there, that would have been even better. But let's talk about the Oscars that are coming up in a couple weeks. You need to make some money on your Oscar pool, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, any proper Oscar pool should not extend past the acting categories, the directing categories, and the Best Picture category. Anything that includes adapted screenplay and cinematography, you don't know what you're talking about, so don't do it, okay? So try to convince whoever's organizing this thing that you don't have to go through the whole list. Use the other time when the other awards are given out to go to the bathroom, get some snacks, gossip, do all the things that a normal human being should be doing. I mean, really, does anybody really care about Best Documentary Short? Well, unless we submit for that. That won't happen. But okay, we're going to start with the supporting categories and who I recommend that you put down as your picks this year. We're going to start with Best Supporting Actor, where I believe there will be an upset. Okay, the nominees are. Where are the nominees? That sounds about right. Oh, I didn't pick one. Okay. Dan. It's not on my list. Well, anyway, here we go. Okay. Best Supporting Actor nominees. Matt Damon in Invictus, Woody Harrelson in The Messenger, Christopher Plummer in The Last Station, Stanley Tucci in The Lovely Bones, and Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Basterds. Now, here's some scoop. Christopher Waltz has won nearly every precursor award. Okay, so we're talking about the Golden Globes, the SAG Awards, and the New York Film Critics Circle, all kinds of different awards. But of all the major categories, Best Supporting Actor is actually the category that features most upsets. So if you are planning for an upset, this is the category to watch. Couple things to also note. Christoph Waltz is not well known in Hollywood, which means a lot of times the people that vote for Oscars are the people who have acted with these people. So he doesn't have that base. The other thing is his speeches have been notoriously awkward and weird this past season. So I believe it comes down to a couple things. Matt Damon, first of all, cross him off your list. He's not the person to watch. He has already won an Oscar for Good Will Hunting in the adapted screenplay, or original screenplay. And he shared that award with Ben Affleck, but there's kind of mumblings in Hollywood that maybe they didn't actually write that script, and why haven't they duplicated it since? And his acting performances really haven't been that good since then. Cross him off. He's done. Woody Harrelson is a possibility. He's worked with a lot of different actors. He's made some bad movies, and he made some weird decisions on award season, like when his name was announced at the Golden Globes, rather than like mug for the camera and smile and show gratitude, he like made out full tongue with his girlfriend. Keep him as a potential, but I wouldn't say he's a definite lock. Christopher Plummer for The Last Station is a possibility. He's 80 years old. He's never been nominated for an Oscar before. And if you go all the way back to 1998, we can talk about the guy's name escapes me, but the man who won for Affliction. He was older, and he got the Thanks for Playing award, basically, for years of service. He is the one to watch. Then, like I said, Christoph Waltz is the front runner, but the person I'm going to tell you to mark on your ballots is Stanley Tucci for The Lovely Bones. Now, The Lovely Bones actually got really terrible reviews, so keep that into account. But what I will tell you is Stanley Tucci has recently lost a wife, so he's got the sympathy factor on his side. He's worked with a lot of people, but he also is in the acclaimed movie Julie and Julia with Meryl Streep, who is nominated for Best Actress. So the Academy is not only watching this performance, they're seeing him in another movie. I believe he is the pick. What does everyone think? Good? All right. So we're going to go to Best Supporting Actress. The nominees are Penelope Cruz in 9, Vera Farmiga from Up in the Air, Maggie Gyllenhaal with Crazy Heart, Anna Kendrick in Up in the Air, and Monique for Precious. Now, if you've been following award season, Monique has yet to lose any of the precursor awards except for one to Anna Kendrick. But let's go through the candidates one by one. Penelope Cruz won last year. The Academy has rarely ever gives the award to the same person 2 years in a row, with the exception of Tom Hanks, who won for both Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. So she's done. She doesn't have the heavyweight material to actually win. 9 was also brutalized by the critics. Vera Farmiga is an older actress, and she did a lot with a small role. But her character wasn't really sympathetic in the film, and I just don't know that there's much heft to her. The other thing is Anna Kendrick was actually better than her in her own movie, so that harms her. Maggie Gyllenhaal, you should just be happy that you got nominated. You are being carried by Jeff Bridges' nomination for Best Actor. Hope you enjoy the party afterwards. Don't drink too much. And Anna Kendrick, she's young. She's 21 years old. That works in her favor. We look at some past Academy Award winners for the supporting category. I'm thinking of Anna Paquin, who was, I believe, 9. Tatum O'Neal, still the youngest Academy Award winner. I believe she was 5 or 6, maybe up to 8. None of it matters. Monique is winning. Now, Monique had some controversy following her early on because she avoided the award circuit. She didn't really campaign. Whenever anybody asked her, why aren't you going to these film premieres, she would just simply say, I left the performance on the screen. I don't need to campaign. That is my campaign. Turned off a little bit of Hollywood, but it was a great performance, and she has been knocking them dead on the stage when she's been winning awards. Mark Monique. She is the only for certain winner this year. Which brings us to lead actor. Not an exciting category this year. In actuality, when people were predicting the nominees for the top 5, there were so many different people that were getting predicted because it just wasn't a strong year for the men in the leading categories. We have Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart, George Clooney in Up in the Air, Colin Firth in A Single Man, Morgan Freeman in Invictus, and Jeremy Renner in The Hurt Locker. Starting with Jeremy Renner, again, not well known in Hollywood. If you've probably never heard him before, I said his name right now, or since this award season, he's out.